Hey, Jets fans, what's going on? Hope you're having a good night. So earlier today, the Jets made a move, bringing in this guy, Lakey Fotu, a defensive tackle. It's a actually pretty good run stuffer. And just to put it in perspective, Quentin Jefferson was about 6.5% run stuff percentage. Quinn Williams, 7%. Solomon Thomas, 5.6%. Fotu, 6.7%. So he's closer to Quinn Williams than anybody else. He's essentially going to be replacing Al Woods, who's 36. Fotu's 25. He's also pretty massive. 6'5", 335 pounds. Okay. 335 pounds. So they've added some size to the defensive line, okay, to the defensive tackles. And a few minutes ago, while I was prepping this video together, they made another move. Offensive. Left tackle. They have signed offensive tackle Tyron Smith, who's a former Cowboy, 33 years old, also 6'5", 320 pounds. So they've added some super duper size, some serious size on the offensive line and on the defensive line. And they're going for it. I still expect them to make another offensive move, offensive tackle. At this point, they need to get as many offensive line pieces as they possibly can, and they need to address the wide receiver position too. They need somebody to complement Garrett Wilson on the other side. So I expect them to do that, whether it be free agency. Things will probably really, really pick up tomorrow. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now before you leave. And hit the notification button right now before you leave too. That way, when the Jets news comes out, you'll get it. Okay, if you happen to be a fan of the other teams as well, I'm going to put out news as well. Now, let's go over the other notable signings today. Okay, you got Daniel Hunter going from Vikings to the Texans. Okay, then you have this guy, Derrick Henry. After 11 years in Tennessee, or no, excuse me, 10 years in Tennessee, he's moving to Baltimore, going to the Ravens. Yes, indeed. Then you have Patrick Queen going from the Ravens to the Pittsburgh Steelers, joining Russell Wilson over there. Okay. Then you have Aaron Jones heading from the Packers, running back, to the Minnesota Vikings to join Sam Darnold, who's replacing Kirk Cousins, who's now with the Falcons. Okay, as their new quarterback. And speaking of the Falcons, they also added Darnell Mooney as a compliment to give Kirk Cousins another weapon to hand off to. So, Jets, 2 moves today. Those are the other notable moves that happened today. Okay. We talked about the other moves yesterday. Tomorrow it's going to be a free for all. There's a lot of other moves that are happening little by little, but those I wanted to make sure that you knew about what's going on in Jets land. And before I go, I will look at and make sure nothing else happened right now. Patriots are signing tight end Austin Hooper, and the Vikings are re-signing wide receiver Brandon Powell. Broncos are re-signing tight end Adam Troutman. And the Patriots have made an offer to wide receiver Calvin Ridley too. So that's what we have in terms of other moves right now. But that's what I got for you right now. I expect the Jets to be they're being pretty strategic with their moves. I mean, the Giants made their big splash yesterday, bringing an outside linebacker and a monster pass rusher. So, and obviously they lost Saquon Barkley to the Eagles. The Jets lost Bryce Huff to the Eagles. So, but since then, the Jets have brought in 2 defensive linemen. Now they brought in 2 offensive linemen. They they re-signed Greg Zerlin, their kicker, and they've also brought in Tyrod Taylor as a quarterback to back up Aaron Rodgers, get him a more mobile, more serviceable backup, which also means Zach Wilson's on his way out at some point soon. I would expect a 6th or 7th round pick, nothing more for Zach Wilson, but at this point, you have some guy who will be a little bit more serviceable to back up Aaron Rodgers now with Tyrod Taylor. And all he has to do is go to the other side of MetLife. He would play with the Dodgers. I mean, play with the Giants this past year. So he doesn't even have to move anywhere. Doesn't have to fly anywhere. He's playing good. He's traveling to the same stadium every week. So, but that's what I got for you right now. Let me know what your thoughts are. Well, who would you like the Jets to sign? I still think another offensive line will happen tomorrow. They have a decimated offensive line. They need size. They need durability. And AVT, we need him to be healthy next year. So we need Joe Tippmann to be healthy next year too. So, and with the rest of the offensive line, we need some size. And they brought in two mammoth guys yesterday and today. So got some serious size to back to protect their running backs, Brees Hall, to protect Aaron Rodgers, protect Tyrod Taylor, to protect, pass rush so he can throw to Garrett Wilson. So things to look forward to right now. And again, not flashy moves for the Jets, but they're making incrementally productive moves. And that's the type of offseason. I didn't expect Joe Douglas to kind of go crazy. They have about almost $40 million in cap space. It's not like the Bears and Patriots who are upwards of 80 and 90 million, and they're spending some pretty big money so far. So, but the Jets are being more strategic with their signings, and which I like would allow them to also be aggressive in the draft. So, which is in a couple weeks as well. So, stay tuned, Jets fans. I'll keep it coming. I'll keep you posted on everything else with other teams too. Have a good night.